serve the Emperor's will.
What is the Emperor's will?
That we fight and die.
What is death?
It is our duty.
What is your duty?
To serve the Emperor's will.
What is the Emperor's will?
That we fight and die.
What is death?
It is our duty.
What is your duty?
To serve the Emperor's will.
What is the Emperor's will?
That we fight and die.
What is death?
It is our duty.
What is your duty?
To serve the Emperor's will.
What is the Emperor's will?
That we fight and die.
What is death?
It is our duty.
What is your duty?
To serve the Emperor's will.
What is the Emperor's will?
That we fight and die.
What is death?
It is our duty.
What is your duty?
To serve the Emperor's will.
What is the Emperor's will?
That we fight and die.
All right, give me a second here. Give me 1 second here. I'm highly unorganized today. Highly unorganized. Do that. Where the hell is that? They would quit screwing around. I gotta get off of StreamYards. This thing it's getting out of hand. Okay, there we go. There we go. What's going on, guys? So I saw this on Twitter, and somebody said the commies were sympathizing with the bugs again. And I was like, oh, this will be hilarious. And I got like a minute into watching this video. It was like, I've got to break down this video. This is just a minute in was unhinged. Just a minute in. Welcome to the shit show is more accurate. Yeah, I got a minute into watching this on Twitter and was like, I gotta do a video on this. And then I got 2 minutes into the video of making something just to throw out, and I was like, it's gonna take me an hour and a half to get through this. I'm just gonna do a live stream. So yeah. Hopefully I can get through this in an hour and a half, maybe 2 before I have to go to work. Fuck. It's some of the craziest things. I think the past bug sympathizers were pale in comparison to this dude. Adam, yes. Yes. Oh my god. Yes. Like, I don't know if he's just lying, if he's never watched the movies or read the books. I can't quite tell. But like everything about it is just absolute garbage. I specifically uploaded something for this stream because I have a feeling I'm going to be playing it a lot. It's just this.
I'm tired, boss.
Like that's how I felt 2 minutes into this. I was like, oh my god. So yeah, I deleted that video and here I am. You're not wrong. It is absolutely a disease. Because I was gonna do the Tropic Thunder, never go full retard, but He's so far past going full retard. It's bad. So let me get my headset because I don't know how good or bad this mic's gonna pick up audio from the speakers. So I'm gonna wear a headset. But I'd ask how your Thanksgiving was, but I'm sure you spent it drinking. Did you at least enjoy your drinking? All right, let me do that. Okay. That ought to work. Oh, fuck. This is going to hurt my soul. I already feel it. Did that not show up on YouTube? No, it did. I just forgot to switch. Okay. Yeah, I actually worked. I chose those days to work. So Thanksgiving Thursday and then Black Friday were holidays at the company. So I got overtime, shift differential, and double pay for holidays. I got like an extra week worth of pay. I was like, yeah, I'll work 2 days. One of them I was already supposed to work, but I got an extra week of pay for picking up one shift. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. Yeah, I'm trying not to watch those. I'll do this stream and then I'll go watch those because I saw Sargon did a video. I've seen some other people do videos, and I was like, man, I kind of want to see where I fall with the intellectuals. See how retarded I am. Let's see here. Which I think Saturday nights that we don't do the RPG campaign, I'm going to be streaming games with some other people. So that's probably going to happen in the near future. Spend a couple hours playing video games on the channel, talking shit. Because they've been playing Among Us and Starship Troopers, which I do like the new updates for the Starship Troopers game. They're absolutely fantastic. I got to say, I'm pretty impressed. For as much as I hate what the Helldivers 2 dev teams did and their choices and community managers and the shit Sony did, that game really pushed a lot of other companies to do some massive updates and expand their games, which thank God for capitalism. But I totally loved that. Let's see. Did I get all the promos out? I think I did. Yeah. All right. So let's do... You know what? I already just liked the video. There. We're doing it. All right, so I'm going to start this. I hope this guy isn't copyright happy, but he seems like he's a bug sympathizing commie, so I'm gonna pause this. I might even just stare at the screen if I'm dumbstruck and take a second to reply. Oh my god. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's start. Emperor protect. I am in your need. Please help me get through this. All right, let's go.
Warhammer is a universe where people fight wars using... Warhammer is a universe where people fight wars using hammers. Okay, not really. Warhammer 40k is a massive, bombastic universe in the grimdark future of the 40th millennium where humanity is fighting wars on an epic scale on multiple fronts against all sorts of horrors. Space orcs, space elves, literal demons from hell, humans corrupted by literal demons from hell, the Zerg, and also the Tau. Warhammer...
All right, so he covered the space elves, and then he said humans turned into demons. But he completely skipped over the Dark Eldar. What do they call now? The Drakari. The space elves that murder fucked a chaos god into existence. They raped and tortured so much it created a god. He just skips over them. It just says space elves. I'm tired, boss, of the shit takes of the United Citizens Federation. God. You're making me regret this. I already do, but you're making it worse. All right, and then the town, the actual space commies. Okay. Let's keep going.
Warhammer got its start as a tabletop game, and at the core it still is. Imagine chess but more complex, where two players bring out their hand-painted armies of miniatures and battle it out on a large board. It's a cool experience at game stores or game bars where you get to meet people, socialize, and show off your cool miniatures. Today, however, the...
Okay, so yeah, I mean, chess but more complex is quite the oversimplification, but I think it's an apt description if nobody's ever looked at 40k.
Warhammer IP has already outgrown its tabletop niche and now includes ultra-popular AAA game titles such as the latest Space Marine 2 with more than 2 million copies.
Dawn of War 3. I refuse to accept it even exists. That thing is... It's an abomination. But yes, Space Marine 2 did extremely well. 2 million copies. Agree. It's a fantastic game.
Sold worldwide. But the Warhammer IP has not been without its controversies. We now have Gamergaters.
Okay. Gamergate has nothing to do with the 40k universe. Like it's their dog whistle that they hear because they're dogs. Gamergate has nothing to do with 40k whatsoever.
Accusing the parent company, Games Workshop, of turning the game woke by introducing...
Okay, that's true. They literally did turn it woke. Nothing about that is incorrect. That is factually accurate.
Introducing into it the most absurd creatures of all. Women.
Oh my god, this strawman argument. There were women in 40k for decades. The Adeptus Sororitas, the space nuns. There were female guardsmen. There are female guardsmen in books. The books I have on my shelf. Let me see if I can get the camera to pan over a little bit. Nope, it doesn't want to do it. Okay, there are females in the books. Women have always been in 40k. They've had their place. They've been exactly where they needed to be. And shit, there's a Saint Celestine, a woman blessed by the Emperor. Nobody complains about that. Not a single person. Nobody complains about the battle nuns. The only thing we complain about is when you turn something that was never female, right? Because this is what it is. The custodes, the custodies, however you want to pronounce it, were never female and they were never going to be female, except for the fact that GW wanted to inject politics, more than likely because of the Amazon show. That's it. They wanted diversity in the show and they wanted to say they did something. I'm already tired. Fuck. Yes, exactly. They're breeders. Oh, fuck. Like, I mean, okay, there's Eldar females. There's literally an entire army group of Eldar females, the Howling Banshees. There's not really female Necrons because they've all had their souls ripped out and put into mission. Okay, that's something different. Orcs are fungus, so they literally can't be female. There are female Taus. There's a female Tau commander that is named for the tabletop, Shadow Sun. I do love me some blue titties. Yeah, no female orcs because they're all fungus. Like they are literally fungus. They die, they decay, they pop out spores. That's how they reproduce. Quite literally, if you're gonna, the best argument for no female orcs is that they're all asexual. That is the best argument you could ever make for a female orc. Fuck. Okay. We're gonna keep going. Let's see what this fucking tard has to say.
No, wait, it's actually even more ridiculous. Gamergaters are mad that Games Workshop changed the lore of one of the factions that no one plays or cares about.
Henry Cavill played them. Henry Cavill showed off his Custodes army. Like there were if you went to a GW store and you were playing at a GW store, at least 1 out of 10 people had a Custodes army. Like that's not even a joke. You're talking about 10%, and you have them. You have whatever Space Marines you play. I play Space Sharks, Ultramarines, Blood Angels, all of them. Then you had Eldar. Then you had Chaos. I saw people Tau. I had 4,500 points of Tau. Like 10% is actually a huge number of people to play a faction in the Warhammer tabletop game. This is absolute bullshit.
About by saying that some of its soldiers can be women if you want to. I mean, it's you assembling.
Okay, no, they these are all genetically modified superhumans. They take okay. Let's start breaking down how Space Marines are made, because this is kind of the more crude version of it. They have a trial process. Whoever survives the trial process is then picked to begin the process to become an initiate, which is an arduous process at best, which even more die. At which point you become Scout Marines and you start undergoing the implementations and the genetic modification where they literally cut you in half. Like literally head down and start pumping in extra organs and genetically modifying you. And these are the toughest men in the universe at this point. And they are dying. But you're telling me some 5'2" woman can survive this process? No, you're going to take the hardiest people, which are generally going to be men, right? I don't care what anybody says. Ronda Rousey in her prime is not standing up to any male UFC fighter. Any of them. Hell, we had a male UFC fighter pretend to be a woman and started cracking women's skulls. And these were professional fighters at the top of their game, and they couldn't stand up to the dude. No, I will never believe that a female will undergo the process and survive when men rarely do it. There is not a chance in the world.
I'm tired, boss.
A minute in. A minute in. I still got 21 minutes to go. Fuck. All right.
The miniatures, you can decide what head you put on them, and this resulted in a global outrage among people who have never touched a Warhammer miniature or a woman.
Oh, hold on. I paused it right there.
And this resulted in a global outrage among people who have never touched a Warhammer miniature or a woman. That's it, game.
That wasn't even a funny joke. Okay, I'm complaining about it, and I've spent probably $30,000 on 40k miniatures. Like, I had 3,500 points of Tyranids, 4,500 points of Tau. I've got 2,500 points of Space Sharks. I had 2,000 points of Eldar. I've never played Chaos. I've never played Orcs. So by the time you put in modeling, or the models themselves, the painting, all the supplies to put everything together, yes, I have spent tens of thousands of dollars on this hobby. And I've touched women, and there's proof of it. Hell, most of the people I meet at game stores are married and got into 40k because, one, they liked it, and two, to get away from their family for a little while and have some fun. Like, most of the people that play 40k are quite well-off people who have done well in life in terms of having a family and a career. But, you know, I think this dude's just kind of projecting his inadequacies onto everybody else. Yeah. It just lets me know your opinion holds no water. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Workshop, I could suspend my disbelief for space orcs, space elves, and hell in space run by space demons, but women? If women are real, how come I never touched one? On the other hand,
It's not even a funny joke. Like, if it was funny, I'd laugh and be like, okay, it got me on that one. But no, that's not it at all. And it's not suspending the disbelief of women existing. Again, factions of women that needed to push women into spots that they don't exist in to push a narrative. And that narrative is the woke DEI mafia's end goal of everybody being gray and obtuse and nobody looking any different. They want everybody in a cardboard box where you can't tell what they look at.
Opposite to the Gamergaters, we have an increasing number of voices saying that Warhammer 40k is starting to become problematic by
The only people saying it's problematic are the communists trying to co-opt it and change it from what it was that made it popular. Those are the only people saying it's problematic. Yeah, and satire dies in grim darkness. Again, it's not satire. It's not satire at all. Like, hold on, let's do this. Satire definition. I probably should have made this an overlay to put over the video so we could just quickly reference it. A literary work holding up human vices and follies to ridicule or scorn. Are you scorning the fact that humanity and every other race in the 40k universe is killing every other race to maintain its existence? Are you saying that should be ridiculed? That things wanting to exist should be ridiculed? That everybody should just, take Canadian healthcare and go yeet themselves? Is that what we're ridiculing? That everybody should just die? It doesn't hold up as soon as you apply the definition of satire. Fuck me. Everything that is pretty is a new. Oh my god. No. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
turning from a satire of fascism into a celebration of it, especially with the latest space.
No.
Read 2 again. Gamergaters counter this by accusing such critics of overreaction. It's just a game, you're taking it way too seriously, nobody wants to be a literal space Nazi, you guys need to chill the fuck out.
Do I think 40k is an awesome universe? Yes. Do I enjoy reading about it? Yes. Do I love playing a game about it? Yes. Do I want to be a guardsman on the front line of a Tyranid invasion, getting my body eaten from the inside out by little bullets that are little creatures that actually tear you apart while you're living and breathing and trying to survive? Fuck no. No. Would I think being a space marine is cool? Yes. Do I actually want to travel the universe for thousands of years, fighting off aliens that are literally trying to kill me, or fighting off demons that could literally appear inside my skin and explode me from the inside out? No. Nobody wants that. This guy just doesn't understand anything. Holy shit.
Out, they say. So what's going on here? Do Gamergaters have a point? Is Warhammer turning woke? Or are the critics correct here, and Warhammer is indeed turning into a celebration of fascism? To answer this question, we need to talk about Starship Troopers.
Bruh. I can't do it. What are we? We're 25 minutes and I made it 2 minutes into this video. Fuck. It's not a celebration of fascism. In no way is it a celebration of fascism. You literally have the God Emperor, who is a perpetual, who's not supposed to die, who's always supposed to respawn. Right? It's the infinite health code, who is now actually dying on a golden throne and is being maintained to save humanity, who reaches out and blesses people in the greatest time of need to help people live. But that's a fascist. Helping people want to live is fascist, guys. Wait for the ad read. The jokes write themselves.
The subject of much online
I already know this is going to be bad. I've never seen somebody that's criticized 40k do a good job at summarizing Starship Troopers ever. I already know this is going to be bad.
discussion as of late. Now, please hold that thought for a moment and let me pay some bills. You might have noticed that the world is kind of going insane at the moment, with
What? He's saying the world's going insane because Donald Trump got reelected and Elon Musk has turned from Democrat to, I'd almost say, libertarian. He's not a conservative by any means, but he definitely wants more free speech, which is exactly what the Democrats don't want. You know, a little more honesty or transparency in media. But that's crazy, guys. The only people that's crazy too are communists.
Trump nominating a pro-Putin grifter as the director of U.S. National Intelligence.
Whoa, wait, what?
At the moment, with Trump nominating a pro-Putin grifter as the director.
A pro-Putin grifter. Look, if he had said a gun-grabbing grifter about Tulsi Gabbard, I would 100% be on board. She 100% has said before she wants to take military assault rifles, weapons of war from citizens. I would have agreed with him. But holy fuck. Holy fuck. Okay.
Director of U.S. National Intelligence and a vaccine denier as Secretary of.
Does he even know that CNN and MSNBC, all of them posted articles about how the vaccine didn't do what was promised and how we were lied to for years about it? Is he just going to gloss over that fact and then go after? You know what? Hold on. Let's do this. RFK is a Democrat. Trump was a Democrat until he ran for president. Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat. Where's the Elon? I was going to skip over the Elon picture. Elon, Democrat. These are all Democrats, but because they aren't on the Democrat side now, they don't ascribe to the ideology. They're all conspiracy theorists and liars. Oh my god, fuck.
Of health. The political scene could not be more tense.
And I would 100% pick RFK for a health advisor. Let's see, Biden health advisor. %100% pick RFK over Rachel Levine, the man pretending to be a woman that is fat. Have you seen videos of RFK? The dude is literally doing pull-ups, then going inverted and spinning around. The dude is jacked. I 100% would pick him over that. No. I haven't even made it 3 minutes.
Uncertain, and this brings with it a steady growth of politically motivated online harassment.
What about the explosives that were found that were never investigated? Allegedly never investigated. Yeah. What president, or I should say person running for president, had multiple assassinations attempts, but you're worried about some people, some grandmas walking around the Capitol who were led in by police waving tiny little American flags. That's the... fuck, I'm tired, boss. I'm tired of boss. I can't.
Among others, keeping your personal data to yourself is more important than ever. And Delete Me, the sponsor of today's video.
I wish you would. I wish you'd... YouTube friendly. YouTube friendly. I want to keep my Triple J Jr. What's going? Why the fuck is? Okay, well, hold on. My camera's spazzing out. Let's see if I can fix this. Why are you spazzing out? Or where's the mess? Because I've been boxing shit up. Let's see. Background replace. Let me know. background blur. That'll work for me for now. We can do that. All right. So yeah, this anyway, hold on. I saw my stuff as spurred out. What's going on, man? I don't think I've seen you here before. If I haven't, welcome. Side effects of liptar brain rot. Loss of long-term memory, loss of logic and reason, and no, we're skipping. I'm not touching that one. This is this video. Destiny and Fuentes are something different.
Is specializing in just that. Once you tell them what to remove, they'll scan hundreds.
He had no self-awareness in that sponsored ditty. I'm not doing. Right.
Taking a proactive approach to the protection and removal of deleting consumer plans by going to join delete.
No, we're skipping that. Skip your ad reads.
Blazers of hard science fiction. Its setting is also similar to Warhammer's. We have a sort of centralized.
I mean, I guess kind of. You know, if you're loosely applying science fiction.
The militaristic human empire called the Terran Federation, battling it out.
It's not an empire. I'm trying to think of how you can apply empire to the Terran Federation. A bunch of colonists running around with their own free will, settling planets that are uninhabited for the most part. Obviously, there are some rare exceptions because it's the entire base of the Starship Troopers narrative. Like, if you're building an empire, it implies that your government is forcing you to colonize other places to expand. And yes, you're absolutely right in aspects. The Terran Federation is not militaristic. It is more a republic than anything that requires civilians and citizens to do work to have the right to decide the fate of other people. All right, to join the Federation and be able to vote, you have to do service. And most of it's military, which I like, but I think there are a lot of sociopaths that go into the military now, so I generally don't think it would apply to today's society. But their thinking is if you're being shot at and your friend gets killed, you are less likely to send people to go and fight and kill other people because you know it should be a last resort. And it's quite literally a libertarian's paradise because the government has very little decisions and powers in how it affects people. Everybody who doesn't do service still enjoys all the rights. They can do everything. They can go travel. They can go settle other planets. They can do whatever the hell they want. They just can't make laws for other people. Like, it's... Oh, okay. It's already off to a bad start.
With various alien species, including giant space bugs. Much like Warhammer, Starship Troopers grew out of an original niche IP. With Warhammer 40k, it was a tabletop game. With Starship Troopers, it was a book which later got adapted into series, movies, and games, making the IP transition from niche to the relative mainstream.
Yes, okay, so... started bad, started getting good.
Now, tabletop Warhammer is very different from video game Warhammer, Space Marine 2 in particular. And in the same way, there is a big difference between Starship Troopers, the book, and Starship Troopers, the movie. The 1997 movie, which was a...
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of differences. I mean, most of them are aesthetic. I mean, the director did some really stupid stuff. But I think he did an overall decent job at portraying how libertarian the society is.
at the center of that god-awful discourse. The Starship Troopers book is rather jingoistic. Some people call it fascist literature, but I don't really agree with that label. The book is militaristic, obsessed with toughness and masculinity, heroism and honor, but it's otherwise not covert fascist propaganda or anything. It was
I mean, not really. I mean, okay, the bugs are completely different in the book. Like, I know they call them arachnids in the movie, but they are actually arachnids with lasers on their backs or their heads. It's really fantasy. It's science fantasy, if I had to say anything. There's spiders with lasers. Pew pew. Like, okay. But okay, so how's he gonna cope with saying the book's not fascist, but the movie is? I'm guessing that's where. Okay, let's.
written by a former soldier at the height of the Red Scare and McCarthyism in the 1950s.
Okay, yes. So it's a critique of. I mean, I guess it would have been the downfall of communism. Well, downfall of the USSR and the rise of republics and democracies in the West. Like, that's kind of where this was set at.
So as far as I can see, Starship Troopers is really a product of its time. It's still very right-wing, idolizes the military. In fact, in that
it doesn't, though. It doesn't idolize the military. Why do I get the feeling he hasn't read the book, but he's trying to talk about it?
world, the only way to gain full rights as a citizen is through military service and so.
Well, no. Not just through military service. Like, the book breaks it out pretty damn clear. You could have Down syndrome and no legs or hands, and the government will find something for you to do to get your citizenship. They're not going to, like, throw you out of a drop ship and use you as a potato to feed the bugs. That's not what they're going to do. They're going to find something else for you to do. Like, the military is just the easier way to do it.
So on. But is it fascist? No, it's just 1950s right-wing and jingoistic. Imagine
It's not right-wing. Like, okay, for decades, the left has been saying, the right wing is fascist because they want totalitarian control. And Starship Troopers government is like the exact opposite. Well, yes, the exact opposite. It's a libertarian society that thrives because the government doesn't interfere with the people. Oh, fuck my life. Yeah, I mean, he said a lot of the books. There's a lot of papers to go through. But yeah.
a sci-fi universe created by an ex-military boomer who has a Clint Eastwood profile picture on Facebook and who can't shut up about how back in his day everyone worked 26-hour workdays, 10 days a week, and no one complained, as opposed to the weak and entitled generation today. Military.
Okay, I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, chances are if Adam, whatever the fuck his name is, saw a cow, he would go hide in a corner and cry and ask for a therapist. I mean, they did have a little bit of a harder time. Like, you were just coming out of a world war where millions of people died. Entire assembly lines were turned into creating military equipment. I mean, what was it? Ford made something like 2 out of 5 tanks that came into out during the war. They were converting all that back. Like, it was still rough.
Service should be compulsory to teach these soy latte drinking weaklings some discipline, but in person.
I mean, I probably would have agreed with that sentiment 30 years ago. Not so much now. Everything's so infected with communist DEI. I kind of disagree with that now. I think it's actually worse.
And the guy is nice to you and always offers you beer.
And he's drinking Bud Light. Discredit. Discredit. Hold on. I love Bud Light. I don't give a shit who their spokesman is. Gay, trans, Jenga, it does not matter to me. Everyone has the right to be happy. If you can find...
when you come over. That's the authorial context of the Starship Troopers book, basically. Now, keep in mind, while the book itself isn't fascistic, the Terran Federation in it kind of is. And the
kind of is? Like, is this going to be his go-to example of fascistic libertarianism? Where Doogie Howard has just insane drip from Hugo Boss? Like, guys, looking cool is fascist. You've got to be ugly in your cardboard box.
values of the 1997 Starship Troopers movie are in many ways the opposite of the books. The director, Paul Verhoeven, grew up during the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands and didn't really like fascist, hyper-militaristic ideologies for obvious reasons. So he proceeded to subvert our expectations.
He subverted by our expectations by fairly accurately, for movie standards, representing a libertarian society that also holds those in power accountable, because we saw the fleet commander step down because she fucked up and get replaced by somebody who is more competent, is fascist. Open policies and elections and government is fascist. That is quite literally the opposite definition of being fascist.
With medieval anti-air railguns firing tungsten rounds at Mach 5, but by turning the Terran Federation, the Starship Troopers, into a satire of jingoism and fascism.
Again, it's... He did say he tried to do that, but he couldn't do it because it still portrayed it accurately as a libertarian society where you have to volunteer to do government work. Holy shit. And it's probably the most diverse thing that people love. He's quite literally complaining about a libertarian society that in itself is diverse by the pure fact of letting people do what they want to do. Is fascist. Fuck.
While the book depicts the Terran Federation's campaign against the bugs as a heroic struggle, the movie portrays it as a hopeless war started on false pretenses, fought by a bunch of propaganda.
A last stand. A last stand would have been the bugs invading Earth and them dying to the last man. And then, how the fuck does he get to false pretenses? The bugs launched multiple asteroids at Earth. How do you get there? How? How do you get there?
Old macho idiots marching into certain death, where instead of heroes.
But that's it. They're being heroes. The bugs attacked Earth multiple times, killed literally innocent civilians, and are going to stop the bugs from killing more millions of people. That's an honorable thing.
Heroic acts, glorious sacrifices, and cinematic last stands, you just get torn apart by giant bugs.
But no. Fuck.
I mean, the whole reason for the war is that supposedly bugs pull the...
You're joking, right? That's a joke?
Javier Milei and destroyed Buenos Aires by launching an asteroid from a different solar system towards Earth. If any...
Yes, they even show in the movie Johnny is talking to his parents, and everything gets dark in the middle of the day, and then communications are cut off, and the entire city is leveled.
Anyone is getting Iraq War.
9 million people and wounding another 12 million. 21 million people affected by this in a single city.
Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction vibes. Yeah, you should. The bug...
Well, how are you comparing that to Saddam Hussein's WMDs that didn't exist? This did happen. Like, the meteor fell from the sky on video. Whereas we never really found anything in Iraq. Like, it depends on whether you go by the movie or the book. So I do like the movie better. I do like the movie Bugs better in terms of representation of how they act. The Bugs did have sorts of space travel. Heinlein never really described any of how anything worked. Like, right, it's like you're watching a D&D movie. They don't tell you how spells work. They just work and you accept it. Yes, details. If you ask questions and you start reading, you realize this guy's full of shit about everything.
Bugs' home system is tens of thousands of light years away. Even if they somehow managed to precisely hit Earth from such a distance, the asteroid would have taken millions of years.
Okay, again, asteroids, plural. Now, again, Heinlein doesn't go into details on how everything works. He wasn't describing, like, they don't talk about faster than light travel, but somehow the Terran Federation got from here all the way to here. He doesn't talk about it. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen. We just don't know how it works.
To get there. So, no, the Bugs could not have done it. The whole asteroid.
Heinlein never said how the Terran Federation got to Clandathu. Therefore, they never could have gotten to Clandathu. And this guy's point is invalid about the Bugs being massacred because, well, Heinlein. See, if you flip his logic, it doesn't work. If you apply his exact logic to another faction and it doesn't work, it means your narrative is bullshit.
Business also begs the question: if the Bugs can pull that off, why don't they keep doing it once humans attack them? Because
they did. They literally did. Holy shit. He never watched the movie. Starship Troopers movie defense system defense grid. I'm trying to find it in the. Like, they literally show scenes. Okay, that's not the original. They show it because I remember thinking it looked like the cannons. Yes, the defense grid. It looked like cannons off of a Starship Star Destroyer, and I thought that was awesome. And it's a giant ring, like around a moon or something. Like, they literally did keep hurling asteroids at people, at Earth, to kill them. What the fuck?
Because it's all bullshit. The asteroid was an accident at
No, wrong.
best, and a false flag operation at worst,
Wrong.
that got blamed on the Bugs to keep the war machine and thus the military-industrial complex occupied.
Wrong. There is no military industrial complex. Fuck my life.
I'm tired, boss.
Fuck. 48 minutes into my stream, and I'm 6 minutes through this video, just bending this dude over like Nick Fuentes did to Destiny and blowing him out with how wrong he is.
In the end, however, all humans accomplish is getting a bunch of soldiers murdered. By the end of the movie, we see literal child soldiers deployed.
No, they're... Okay. Wrong.
As the Terran Federation is running out of regular troops.
Wrong. Wrong. All right, Buenos Aires had over 21 million people. We know this because Buenos Aires still had people in Buenos Aires. And 21 million of them were either dead or wounded in action. That would imply that there are multiple billions of people. And you're assuming that everybody else on the planet doesn't want to fight the Bugs that are attacking Earth multiple times and murdering people, to the point that a government who literally cannot conscript people, who does not have the authority to conscript people, are conscripting people, and people are okay with it. But they're not okay. Okay, Wrong.
And it's not like the bugs are a threat to humanity. They aren't
They literally are. They killed millions of people in an attack. Holy shit.
like the Tyranids, actively trying to eat humanity. The bugs are on the other side of the
Again, wrong. Wrong.
galaxy and generally don't bother you unless you bother them first.
Not true. They launched an attack on humanity from across the galaxy.
Which humans did by settling on the bugs' home planet.
They didn't settle on the bugs' home planet. The bugs are literally the empire you're talking about. The bugs occupy multiple planets. Klendathu is not their home. This guy didn't watch the movies or read the books. Holy fuck, and he's talking about it like he's some fucking expert. This guy is making me want to form a Tatalian empire on Earth to cleanse it of people like this. Fuck, this dude is the reason people who are fascist end up in... Okay.
The closing scene of the Starship Troopers movie, the soldiers capture a brain bug, the bug's equivalent of a command and control vehicle, basically.
Yes, they captured an enemy general alive.
In this scene, Neil Patrick Harris reads the brain bug's emotions and loudly proclaims it's a...
Yes, he's part of the intelligence agency because he can quite literally read minds. That's why he got the position. He can... Doogie Howser is an exceptional human being in this universe. And Patrick, I think you've watched the movie about as many times as I have. Doesn't he reference that they thought there might be a brain bug or some intelligence, but they weren't sure, and now they have proof? All right, let me back this up and start. Yes, it is rage-inducing. Yeah, I mean, there's some counts of like 15-year-olds lying about their age to join up in the military to go fight the actual Nazis in World War II. Like, legitimately happened. The British for sure, Americans for sure, Canadians for sure, Australians. I don't think I recount any Australians doing it, but I'm almost positive it did happen. I mean, you look at the Philippines, you look at any of Southeast Asia that America temporarily abandoned and came back for because MacArthur's a fucking G, and was right. Yes, that's what it was. See, I forget some of the details over time, but I remember they're there in the movie.
Vehicle, basically. In this scene, Neil Patrick Harris reads the brain bug's emotions and loudly proclaims it's afraid to the soldiers around him, after which everyone erupts in cheers and the whole scene is played off seemingly as the glorious ending of a righteous military campaign. Except it's not. And
It was. Humanity was attacked repeatedly by bugs who they had literally formed an entire zone around because they didn't want anybody to go in there. The Mormons didn't got eaten. When the Mormons got eaten, they didn't go and attack the bugs. They're like, well, we told you not to screw around and go in that entire zone because the bugs were all over different planets. They didn't go in there. They waited until the bugs attacked Earth and killed millions of people, and then launched a military campaign where the first offensive, like landing on the beaches of what was it? I want to say Sicily. Was a botched landing. Maybe it was Africa. No, I'm trying to remember which World War II battle. It was akin to one of those failed landings. I had a hiccup. So that person who failed and botched the landing stepped down to let someone else take command because they realized they were not competent enough for this military command, who then went back and actually conquered Klendathu and captured an enemy general alive as failed. Dunkirk was a retreat. I'm talking about an actual invasion with a beach... spear front on a beachhead to capture territory. There were quite a few botched ones. Normandy was technically successful. And I really want to say it was on the Italian peninsula. Anyway, that's completely off topic. Me history nerding out here. So how are you going to say this is not a military success?
Movie goes to great lengths showing you why in the 2 hours preceding this scene. First off, as I've said, it was the humans who attacked first.
Wrong.
The bugs did not start this conflict.
Wrong.
They were attacked based on false pretenses,
Wrong.
and they decimated the humans for it.
Wrong. Well, okay. Let's use the actual definition of decimation, 10%. Potentially from the landing force. Potentially, yes.
I mean, if the literal child soldiers by the end aren't indication enough, I don't know what to tell you. Hundreds of thousands of human deaths for no reason.
Hundreds of thousands is not decimation and a loss of a war. You know what? Hold on. Fuck, I forgot. U.S. Civil War deaths. Let's do this, because that is hundreds of years ago. Between 698,000 and 750,000. Let's see. World War II deaths. 50 to 85 million people. 3% of the world's population. And countries were still fighting. What? The idiocy of this dude. All right. Dunkirk was the retreat out of France, where Germany was made a retarded decision to not push the advance, which allowed the British and French forces to retreat. I'm talking about a spearhead like Normandy. Because, okay, we'll discuss that later on the Discord. Yeah, I know the movie was completely told out of order. Because okay, anyway, back to the topic at hand. I'm an hour in to my stream, and I'm 7 minutes and 29 seconds into this 22-minute video. Fuck.
That end scene with the brain bug is basically one massive cope by the Terran Federation.
How's it a cope? They won on the planet and captured the equivalent of a fucking general, a multi-star general who commands millions of forces.
Director even added a nice little touch. When the bug starts jittering out of fear, the soldiers quickly back away from it. This is not a victory. You captured what is basically a single command and control vehicle at the end of your campaign.
It's okay, wrong.
That cost the lives of hundreds of thousands of soldiers. It's like,
again, more people died in World War II just fighting over shitty North Africa and specific parts of Europe. Very specific parts of Europe had multiple millions, but somehow a planet taking 100,000 losses is worse than that when they have billions of people.
when the other Federation, the Russian one, exhibits a captured Abrams on Red Square.
Of course, he's a fucking Natho simp.
Yeah, you got that one, congrats, but you also...
Yes, they captured an Abrams. The pride and joy of the American military tanks. You captured one.
lost more than 18...
Like, that's not the equivalent of capturing an American general. It is not the same. It's literally like destroying a landing ship out of Starship Troopers. That's what this is closer to. And put all the numbers you want up about Russian losses. Ukraine is still losing the war.
1,000 pieces of heavy equipment in Ukraine, and it's just the visually confirmed losses, not to mention your casualties. Anyway, the Starship Troopers movie is
Again, showing Doogie Howser with immaculate drip and saying it's fascist.
very clear about it being a satire. The discourse
Again, the closest thing they come to being satirical in the Starship Troopers film is by showing drip.
that erupted around the tower was truly mind-boggling. On one side, you had people with the reasonable take. Everything that happened to humans is basically their fault. The war with
It's not. It's not. Quite literally, what you're trying to say is that someone walked across the grass in your yard, so you're allowed to hack them up with a chainsaw and the police come for you. Like, this is unjust. No, it is totally just. You don't get to murder somebody for walking across your yard. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Starship Troopers timeline. The Federation sets up a quarantine zone. I said that. Mormons settled into the quarantine zone, which they were explicitly and repeatedly told not to do by the government, but the government has no power to stop them, so they do it anyway. Not very fascistic. The bugs slaughter them to the last human, yes. Pause. You're skipping something there. Humans do not, the Federation does not retaliate. Humanity in its entirety does not retaliate. Then the bugs send it should be asteroids, to Earth. It cut off here. Where do I? Then the humans went, okay, to total war in response to an existential threat. Yes. Some minor nuances you missed in that statement, but yes, you overall are accurate.
With the bugs was completely unnecessary, and the Terran Federation is a crazy, jingoistic fascist empire. I mean, the director put Neil Patrick Harris in a literal SS uniform. The message is very clear. Also, the
Wrong.
brain bug scene is followed up by a propaganda video in which people gleefully torture the brain bug.
Wrong. They're literally extracting information from a general in an enemy army that seeks to wipe out the entire human race. Yes, people are excited. No, it's not propaganda.
So there's that too. But some disagreed with this assessment. A lot
Yes, you are more accurate than the Stingleberry.
of people legitimately did not understand how anyone could take the side of the bugs, empathize with the bugs even, when all the Terran Federation characters are attractive and the bugs are disgusting. Empathize with the bugs even, when all the Terran Federation characters are attractive and the bugs are disgusting.
Is he saying being attractive is fascist? Why do I get the feeling that this dude lives in a basement and look, oh, what was that fucking rapper? I saw a picture of it, was disgusted. He's like 800 pounds sitting on a couch with a oxygen tank. Why do I get the feeling this dude, Adam, looks like that? Why do I get that feeling? He's mad because people are attractive and do work, and he's pissed about it because he doesn't want to do work but wants to be attractive. And
I'm tired, boss.
I mean, that's the whole point. The way you instinctively feel about the bugs is how a white supremacist feels. I mean, that's the whole point. The way you instinctively feel about the bugs is how a white supremacist feels about blacks, or how a Nazi.
No. Humans didn't hate bugs because they were bugs. They hated them because they killed millions of people. They attacked humanity. That's why they hate them.
He feels about Jews, revolting freaks to be crushed on.
There is literally a Jew on this stream defending the Federation because they are not fascistic. What the fuck? Holy shit. Oh, why me? Why do I have to make a channel? Oh, I hate this shit. Right? Dude, that drip is immaculate. I love it. He's trying to be offended on my behalf, but the Jew is sitting here defending Starship Troopers. You cannot make this fucking shit up.
Under their boots. Not coincidentally, this is often how Jews were depicted by Nazi propaganda. Disgusting.
Yes, and they were also depicted as rats and anything else they could think of. And Germans were depicting that's literally propaganda. That is literally propaganda. The bugs are literally arachnids murdering millions of people. They are not the same
insects to be purged from the face of Earth. The movie essentially challenges.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
you to take the side of the group you were conditioned to hate. And oh boy, did many people fail this test.
They weren't conditioned to hate them. They hated them as a result of them murdering millions of people and attempting to murder millions of more on planet Earth when the Federation was actively trying to avoid the bugs and leave them alone.
Discourse essentially became an indicator of who would fall for Nazi propaganda, where all the Aryan Germans are depicted as tall, strong, and beautiful.
I'm tired, boss.
And all the supposed subhumans as revolting freaks.
The bugs are revolting freaks. I mean, she do look kind of cute, though. Yes, existential threat.
With that, Starship Troopers gave us a very important revelation about the importance of aesthetics. If an otherwise horrible faction is depicted as badass and handsome in an IP, some people will start idolizing them and co-opt their visual.
No, people just like the drip. They can like the drip and hate the people. I fucking absolutely love the Tiger One's aesthetics. I think they're fantastic. I do not idolize Nazis. I love the STG-44. I think it's fucking immaculate. I do not idolize the Nazis. I think the V-1 rocket, the first ICBM, I mean, not really an ICBM. It would have been not an intercontinental ballistic missile, but just a ballistic missile. We'll say ballistic missile. I think it's the coolest thing ever. I do not idolize the Nazis. I think the Messerschmitt and the HE, what was it, the 111? What, Heinkel's version? Anyway, the first jet fighters are fucking fantastic looking. I do not idolize fucking Nazis. I do actually think the SS Stormtrooper outfits are fucking dripped as hell, but I do not idolize the Nazis. Oh, fuck.
Fuck yours, no matter how monstrous the faction is or how much satire you heap on. And this brings us to Warhammer 40k. Let's consider its opening paragraphs. It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries,
I am resisting the urge to throw something across the apartment. One, because it would mean I break something I own. Two, because I'm sore from the gym because it was chest day and I know throwing something will hurt. Fuck my life. All right. Oh, God. Okay. I'm going to take a quick... I need to grab a drink. And I need to turn on the air. I turned on the heat because it was like 30 degrees this morning. And now I'm getting quite toasty. So, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to play the deathcore quotes with the video. Leave you guys to it, and I will be back in 1 or 2 minutes.
What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty. What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty. What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty. What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty. What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty.
You're not wrong. I think I need it after this. It's just physically draining. All right. Let's continue with this shit show.
The Emperor has set immoral.
Yeah, I legitimately don't understand how you can sympathize with the thing that is trying to kill you and wants you dead for literally no reason than themselves and saying, oh, this is fine. I should just bend over and take it. Like, I would literally rather die on my horse charging into battle to protect my family than to just let something happen to them and say, well, I don't want to seem like the bad guy. Fuck off. Yes. Yes.
Mobile on the golden throne of earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and the master of a million worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrier and lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. Vast armies give battle in his name.
Okay, yes. That is an alternate perspective to the Empire, the Imperium of Man. Empire of Man, Imperium of Man. The Empire is different. Yes, I know that's Warhammer, and that's not 40k. That's the fucking alternate fantasy world. But this is written from the perspective of someone that is not in the Imperium. This is closer right to what the Chaos Gods would try and tell someone about the Imperium. Yes. So, well, what's his point of this?
Uncounted worlds. But for all their multitudes, they are barely enough to hold off the ever-present threat from aliens, heretics, mutants, and worse. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable.
Okay, I'm toxic. Deal with it.
These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim, dark future, there is only war. There is no peace among the stars, only any...
Okay, that is probably the only thing I will agree that is right-wing about the Imperium, is that they are quite literally against progress. Like, that's the only right-wing aspect of it.
eternity of carnage and...
Like, I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest, the Imperium of Man is almost a mix of communism and libertarianism, right? So, like, when everybody says that all the planets pay tithes to Holy Terra, they're not paying money. They're paying resources because there's no real currency. There's currency on planets. Every planet may have their own currency. But what the Imperium desires is the resources to fuel the war machine to protect humanity from everything that is trying to kill it. I mean, that's quite literally like more communist than anything. You have a ruling class, and then you have your lower class, and they're all devoted to the single ideology of the Imperium. Like, it's closer to being, and it's, I say libertarian because each planet gets to operate independently with its own rules. Like that's, these commies should worship the Imperium. I mean, in ways, yes, but it's not. Like, if you start breaking down the Imperium, it really does kind of, like, okay. So with Gilliman coming back, he's more akin to taking the, I don't even want to say the oligarchical approach. Like, he's rebuilding what his father made, which was the empire itself, more akin to like the British Empire. He's building the monarchy back. And yes, I still hate the new lore, but it is what it is.
Slaughter and the laughter of the
All right, I've literally got 60 minutes to get through this before I got to start work. I've got to buckle down here.
thirsting gods. The 40k universe is a rough place. It's basically war and suffering turned up to a ridiculous level, and it kinda works.
Yes, it's grimdark.
Warhammer 40k manages to straddle the line between epic and silly, nailing the perfect ratio of the two. And this works really well for the board game. You both bring out your
It works really well for the entire setting, be it books, movies, television, or tabletop.
armies you spend 200 plus hours painting, one of you fields Chaos Marines, the other Astra Militarum, and you duke it out in this silly but epic setting, having lots of fun in the process. This over-the-top, horrifying universe is a great niche for tabletop games played by nerds, including yours truly. But what if you want to make a universally appealing AAA video game? How do
You use the setting that made it popular enough that people want the video games. They like the video games because it's a setting that they know and that they have loved. You don't fuck with it.
you implement this idea that everything in the grimdark future is horrible, the soldiers are brainwashed,
You don't have to implement the idea because it already exists.
drones dying for nothing, and that the wars you fight are completely hopeless, and all of you are essentially doomed? How do
But you're not doomed. You could be doomed. You're fighting to not be doomed.
you make an enjoyable AAA game around these ideas? Games Workshop thought long and hard and decided that they'll just kind of forget about most of the grimdark stuff. These
Okay,
Space Marine games, while
I will agree with that. GW has moved quite far away from the grimdark setting. Like, I liked the fact that the Imperium was near hopeless with chaos at its gates, the Tyranid at its gates, the orcs at their gates, the Eldar at the gates, the Space Pharaohs, the Necrons at their gates, everything at the gates fighting to wipe them out of existence and just barely holding on. You know, the Dark Eldar, who quite literally used to have practically nude models with grotesque features and humans being molded around and shaped into like, it was so grimdark, and it's lost its edge. It really has. But I still love the setting overall.
while containing hints of the absurdity of the Imperium, are for the most part made to make the player feel like a cool, epic, badass war hero soldier mowing down thousands of enemies without breaking a sweat. And with that, Games Workshop
Exactly what the Astartes were built to do.
has made the biggest mistake possible when it comes to depicting fascists. They made them appear cool and
They're not fascist! Holy fuck! They are not fascist.
badass. And yes, Space Marines are fascists.
No, they are not. Fuck my life.
They're turbo space Nazis who will turn
No, they are not. They are literally the defenders of humanity for all the planets that are trying to survive from being murder fucked to death, eaten alive, enslaved, or worse.
turn you into minced meat if you say something they deem heretical.
No, No. Because even the Astartes chapters themselves disagree with some of the theological stuff that's present. And they don't go tearing at each other. The Inquisition is a really small faction. And when Cryptman discovered the Tyranids who wiped out entire planets, he thought the only way to stop them was to exterminatus, wipe out multiple planets. In the name of the Inquisition, the highest tier, that the only people who can stop the Inquisition are the Inquisition themselves. And you know what the Inquisition did to him for murdering innocent civilians and wiping out planets? They executed him.
atrocities, purges, and genocides are just par for the course for them. If your service to the Imperium means mowing down 10,000 civilians because there might
They don't, though. The closest example of that is the fucking Great Knights, and even they just don't go willy-nilly about it. They're still held back in reserve. Most of these chapters go to fucking war with the Grey Knights when they try to do this. There's an entire book about the fucking Space Wolves. I almost said the Grey Wolves. The Space Wolves fighting it out to protect civilians. The most good chapter of the Astartes and every fucking spinoff are the Salamanders, who are essentially black dudes, their skin's all black, who would literally die to save one civilian. They would sacrifice themselves to do it. They do not run around murdering civilians. Fuck, this guy.
Might be heretics among them, so be it. You're murdering women and children without any second thought or remorse because you are a mindless drone bred for combat, and that's just what it's like to live under the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. If you doubt me, I invite you to check out the episode in...
I'm not watching the new DEI propaganda Warhammer videos. It's not fucking happening. It's not. Warhammer has gone woke, and they are trying to appeal to DEI, which is why nobody actually likes their shit, and everybody talks shit about them, which is why they've had to block so many people on all their platforms.
In the Garden of Ghosts from the Hammer and Bolter series, where we are treated to a scene of a purged Forge world. No, wait, that's the Adeptus Mechanicus thing. All right. Craft world. That's a giant...
Yes, the Eldar, who don't see humanity as a sentient being and that they just need to be wiped off the face of the planet. They refer to humans as monkeys. But you're saying they're the good guys that should live. The same race that murder-fucked a god into existence that does nothing but torture and rape people, you're saying are the good guys. Okay.
Giant space habitat, basically, where the Eldari, the space elves, live. Home.
They literally have to put their souls into gems. That's what the gems on their armor are. It's for their souls to go so that Slanesh doesn't get them and torture their souls for eternity, because that's the god they created.
2 million at minimum. Well, the noble Ultramarines massacred the entire Forge world, murdered...
Good. Good. Massacre every craft world. The fucking knife-ear bastards deserve it.
Bring untold thousands of men, women, and children, because they were Xenos, therefore degenerate...
No, because they wanted to wipe out every other race. They wanted to be the only race to exist.
Therefore worthy of death. Shout out to Purity Seal.
Yes, they are worthy of death.
For this lore tip, by the way. You can find his channel under @thepurityseal. In popular first-person shooters, however, such things cannot be depicted because your game would be banned worldwide. A Warhammer 40k...
Really? Really? Massacring people in a game would be banned worldwide. Huh. Hatred is still for sale, where you quite literally go around massacring people and nothing else. Not banned. There are hundreds of games like that are not banned. You disingenuous little fucking retard.
Shooter game true to the lore would be a war crime simulator.
Remember, no Russian.
And it would just be weird playing as a psychotic, murderous maniac committing crimes against humanity for 8 hours without any self-awareness or remorse. Actually, that sounds like super fun and...
No.
Wait, I'm sorry. This video is for people 13 and above. Who would like this?
Well, I'm 34. And I disagree with you, so go back to your fucking...
Children in here. But I love playing as an unrepentant murderous psycho. Yeah, try playing Mass Effect as a renegade. Don't believe me? Apparently, according to Mass Effect player stats...
Yes, people like having the choice. Sure, a lot of people played Paragon, but people did want to play Renegade. Some people even played Neutral. Some people didn't go with the good route. Oh my god, it's almost like there's a market for it.
92% of players played as Paragon and only 8% as Renegade. Most people just don't want to be a...
And a lot of people became attached to the course of good storytelling that they wanted to save a lot of the people they interacted with. People wanted to be the hero. They wanted to be like a space marine, making the heroic last stand on the piles of the enemies that were trying to kill them, saving their friends so that their friends could escape. People liked being the hero. People liked being a space marine. He's going to take another left turn.
An asshole, not even in video games. But even if a Warhammer shooter was true to form and the player was made to feel like a disposable cog in a purposeless murder machine, tasked with the occasion.
It's called Arma. It's one of the best-selling games. You're a random soldier on a battlefield. Hell let loose. The same thing. You're a random soldier on the battlefield. They couldn't give a shit if you die, as long as you capture the objective. People play those games in massive numbers. Another wrong.
Genocide, there are people who would love that and would absolutely play that game. I get that. But if you're making a game, you want to appeal to the widest audience.
No, if you're making a game, you want to make a game that's fun and enjoyable. AAA studios who are all about grubbing up fucking money try to appeal to the widest audience.
Possible, not just to people on terror watch lists. In Space Marine 2, the latest
We wouldn't have to defend against them if they were exterminatist.
Warhammer 40k game ended up doing the former, choosing appeal over what I would call honesty about its universe. You're not a mindless, psychotic drone killing in the name of a doomed fascist empire, but a noble, heroic warrior protecting your home from freaks and degenerates.
So, a Space Marine.
The overt satire is basically gone because it had to be. There are allusions.
It's not satire. It's not satire. How many fucking times? It's not making fun of the Space Marines. It's not poking fun at how they do stuff. It's explaining the grimdark future. We're stepping back from my love of the Imperium, where every faction is fighting other factions for their existence in the universe. That's not satire. That's just grimdark.
To the Imperium being bad, but not nearly overt enough. A Warhammer 40k true to form would be like a version of Modern Warfare where every second mission is no Russian, only even
No,
more
wrong.
bloody and deranged. But if anyone released a game like that, most countries wouldn't even let them publish it.
Wrong.
Keep in mind, by the way, that I do like Space Marine 2, and I do
Liar.
think it's a good game. Just before anyone would start yelling at me how the game isn't bad, actually. I agree, it's a good game. It's cool and epic, and I like it. But there are overarching issues with it, which we're currently discussing.
Yes, there are issues with it. That people like you are allowed to play it.
Now, the reason why the Warhammer 40k books and tabletop games are allowed to get away with containing atrocities.
All right. I wonder if he just pulled a screenshot of a bunch of random books, but let's go through these books. Double Equal. I Can't Think of Massacres. Horus Rising. Can't Think About Humanity Massacres. Fulgrim. Fulgrim's just a gay degenerate. Cyphus Kane. Absolute Giga Chad hero who bangs a hot inquisitor. No Massacring of Humanity. Soul Hunter. No Massacring of Humanity. Haven't read Hell's Reach. Betrayer. Look, it's World Eaters. There's a reason they're chaos. Again, not humans massacring humans. Let's see. Kane again. Let's see. Ravener and Eisenhorn, not massacring humanity. All these books, with the exception of fucking World Eaters, which are chaos, are attempting to save humanity.
While video games aren't, is because in the game you would get to act out said atrocities. At the very least,
Fuck. No.
we would get
Wrong.
vivid depictions of them. You don't just read
Wrong.
about, say, Space Marines murdering 10,000 women and children,
You don't read about it because it doesn't happen.
or you don't just play with miniatures of a Space Marine faction, which, according to the lore, once murdered 10,000 women and
Show proof. Show proof.
children. Nope. This is an interactive
Show proof. Nope. That was perfect timing.
video game where you are a Space Marine, and congratulations,
The fuck? Why is his head on backwards? The fuck? His head's on backwards. His arms are the wrong way too. Did he just like cut off the arms and head and flip them around to try and make a Space Marine look like he's... Oh, fuck.
Your next mission
He did. He literally cut off the arms, flipped them around, and then cut off the head and flipped it around.
is to purge a civilian sum of 10,000, where
You know, hold on. Let's just Google this. Let's see how much work this dude. Space Marine. Back view. He literally could have taken this image. Could have taken this image. Could have taken this image. But instead, I hope to God he didn't make that. He probably did.
the presence of heretics is suspected. Here's your chainsaw and plasma incinerator. Good luck. And then you
It's a plasma kit. Okay. Hold on. What did he
where
call
the
this?
presence of heretics is suspected. Here's your chainsaw and plasma incinerator. Good luck. And then you get dropped onto the map with a counter appearing on your screen, standing at 0 out of 10,000. Nobody would want to play that game.
They made the game. They made the game. They made the fucking game. It's called Dark Tide. Lots of people played it. You fucking retard. Holy shit.
And those who even bother to try wouldn't have fun playing it.
Yes, I still go back and play it from day to day, but I don't think there's enough updates, so it gets repetitive and boring. But I absolutely love the game.
If the game was even legal to distribute, even though such a game would fit perfectly into the Warhammer 40k
Yeah, you say it's lazy, but that took more work to do than a Google search.
universe. Such is life under the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable in the grimdark future. And that's just what they often do to fellow humans. Sentient,
No, they don't. They don't.
non-human civilians, even if not hostile, usually just get instantly murdered or
No,
worked to death
wrong.
as slaves. So Games
Wrong.
Workshop had to take a different approach with their AAA game. For the sake of broad appeal, they had to gracefully sideline the unspeakable evil
Wrong.
and cruelty of the Imperium. You're not committing atrocities, genocides, and other war crimes. Instead, you're fighting an endless horde of tyrannids,
Again, what the Imperium actually fights.
insectoid space alien predators, which threaten to overwhelm everything. In contrast to the bugs in the Starship Troopers movie, tyrannids are not the victims of aggression. Their singular goal is to
Wrong. Wrong. The bugs in Starship Troopers were the aggressive species.
devour absolutely everything. They are a force of nature, basically, and there is nothing morally wrong with killing them. The other enemy faction appearing in Space Marine 2 are the Forces of Chaos, who are just evil. Once again, nothing wrong with killing them. So your character, Titus of the Ultramarines, is doing the good thing, really. He's a protagonist. He's also a brainwashed space Nazi psychopath
Emperor, please give me the strength to finish this video.
prepared to commit even the most heinous atrocities without a hint of doubt, should his masters command him.
In these first Space Marine, he's actively trying to save a planet under attack from an orc invasion that seeks to slaughter humanity and enslave what's left, and also fighting chaos demons. But they're saying he's brainwashed and a fascist. Okay.
But let's not portray that, because that would be a downer for the average player.
Yeah, let's not talk about that, Adam, because that would ruin your entire argument.
Therefore, in Space Marine 2, Titus is mostly portrayed as a selfless war hero instead.
He was a selfless war hero from his introduction to the 40k universe.
And I know that there is a bit more nuance to the story and the character, especially in light of the previous game, but
He needs a bolt around to the back of the head. Bolt arounds don't exist, so it's not physically possible for it to happen, so shut up, FBI.
that unfortunately doesn't matter. That's stuff for lore wonks, not your average player who might not even have played the previous game. The nuance is lost on them. And because of this, due to the satire taking a backseat, we have lunatic space Nazis made to look like heroes
I think we should have an IQ test for allowing people on the internet.
Those tirelessly fighting against a tidal wave of freaks that threaten to destroy their glorious civilization, which is exactly how, say, white nationalists think.
Oh my fucking god! Holy shit! He's not. He's literally not. He's literally trying to say it's better to be eaten by bugs than to defend yourself.
Of themselves, isn't it? The brave champions protecting white civilization from an onslaught of swarthy subhumans who would be
he shows a white nationalist rally and then pulls up a picture of an African American man. Oh shit. Okay. At least there's a little humor in this.
destroy all they've built. And since the video games have an overwhelming cultural
Not just an African American man, the most wealthy African American man on the planet. Oh fuck.
influence compared to the books or the tabletop, the game's portrayal of Warhammer 40k becomes dominant in popular culture. Sort of like how the average person thinks of Superman as an unfeeling alien god. That's
Nobody thinks Superman's an unfeeling alien god. They think they know he actually cares and actively tries to help people. The same thing Space Marines do. Literally every non-heretical Space Marine book. All right, we're not talking about Night Lords falling to chaos. We're not talking about Angeron and the World Eaters. We're not talking about Death Guard and Mortarion. We're not talking about Fulgrim. Space Marines give their lives to protect civilians. They quite literally are the over-exaggerated 41st millennia Superman made en masse by the God Emperor of Man. May he ever protect our souls.
because those god-awful Snyder movies depicted him as such. Meanwhile, in the comics, he's this cool and friendly guy. I believe Cosmonaut Variety Hour put it best, and I'm paraphrasing, in the movies, Clark Kent is the mask worn by Superman. But in reality, Superman is the mask worn by Clark Kent. But due to the movie's overwhelming
Don't do this to me. Don't do this.
cultural influence over the comics, movie Superman becomes the cultural standard. Same with Warhammer 40k. The ultra-popular games will be the ones dictating the IP's public perception, not the niche books or the tabletop game. Unsurprisingly, the far-right began co-opting Warhammer 40k already a few
The far right didn't co-opt 40k. The right was already into 40k because they were the ones that had families and jobs and could afford to do 40k, and they enjoyed the fantasy of playing as someone that was willing to give their life to protect humanity. Something the left has never done. 40k has always been right wing. 40k players have always been right wing, if that's what you're going to go with.
years ago. God
And if anything, the left has tried to co-op it to get closer to kids.
Emperor Trump being the most obvious example. Also God Emperor Putin. Go figure.
That one's a fucking joke, and I think it's funny. But yeah.
Now, far-right fans of Warhammer don't actually play the tabletop game, so you won't be
That's almost all that plays it. That's quite literally all that plays fucking 40k. The rest of them are fucking LARPing, pretending they play it, and they don't do shit. They say shit about it online to get fucking clicks. What the fuck's he have highlighted here? Oh, the fucking edgelord in fucking Spain that got kicked out of a 40k tournament. Go fuck yourself. You couldn't even pull anything up in America or Britain or the rest of the world that plays 40k. You have to go to one fucking example from The Gamer about a Spanish moron who dressed up. Fuck you, you stupid cunt.
meeting them in real life. Online though, Warhammer 40k communities are often literal cancer, with people unironically parroting the fascist propaganda of the
Burn the heretic, kill the mutant, purge and clean. Yes, yes, yes. That is the way it should be. The heretic that will summon demons who will do the most disgusting things that you can't even think of doing to you. Yes, get rid of them. The mutants, who will tear you limb from limb and kill you and your entire family. Yes, get rid of the mutants. Purge the unclean. Yes, the ones that spread disease and bring about Nurgle. Yes, purge the unclean. Do it.
Imperium. Burn the heretics, kill the mutants, purge the unclean. It is better to die for the Emperor rather than to live for yourself.
Yes. Yes. It is better to save humanity than to be a selfish prick, is what you're complaining about. It is better. You quite literally trying to say it's better to kill your family and live than to die to save your family? Holy shit.
An open mind is like a fortress with its gates unbarred and unguarded. Killed lots of Xenos and got coin.
Again, that quote is in reference to Chaos. Chaos, who literally spawns because of belief in chaos, knowledge of chaos, that summons hordes of demons that will torture you and your soul for all eternity. You should absolutely bar your mind from. You should have fucking walls that make the wall that we need across the Mexican border look like fucking toothpicks.
For the Emperor. Here's this image depicting an Imperium guardsman blowing himself up with an Eldari, basically a space elf, titled The Emperor Protects. With one...
Wait, hold on. Give up, monkey. Again, the knife-eared bastards don't see humanity as anything other than animals, and why they're trying to wipe them off to existence. You lost and there's no Emperor to save you. And why do you still persist on smiling? Because Zeno, the Emperor, has already saved me. Who will save you? Yes! Yes! Dude, he has no idea what the fuck he's even putting on screen. Oh, fuck. The Emperor will save his soul when that grenade blows up and destroys him and his armor and the stupid, silly little crystals that they implant in their armor to stop them from being eternally tortured by a chaos god who rapes and murders people and uses their skin that they created. You're saying they're the good guys. Okay.
1.9 thousand likes. The soldier is glad to die for the Emperor and believes that he saved him by letting him die in war.
Yes. That guard probably saved dozens, if not hundreds of people. That man is a fucking G.
He's been brainwashed that hard, and the comments next to the image are of a similar vein. Approved. When I'm gone, I'll meet the God Emperor, but you, Xeno scum, the only god you'll meet is the Dark God.
All factually accurate.
Whatever that is. Cadia.
How do you not know? Okay. He has no knowledge of the setting. What does he do? Just go to Twitter and look up posts for a topic he wants that's trending and say, I'll make a video on this. I know I can pretend to know what I'm talking about. Holy shit.
Stands for Cadia. Cadia is a fortress world most famous.
Look, I make jokes about Twitter on Twitter and other places about Cadia, but Cadia was a fucking G.
For doing the opposite of standing, by the way. There are
an entire planet gave their lives to stop chaos from running rampant across this galaxy and murdering everything in it, torturing everything in it. And that's your complaint.
There are also
in the earlier part of the video, didn't he say it was okay to fight chaos? Now he's like, no, we need to let chaos do their murder, torture, rape stuff. Okay, God.
An image replies, most of which call for murdering someone, usually the post-author, or non-humans.
Based. I see 5 based-ass memes here. Yes, we need more bolters for this heresy. Bolters, blast cannons, heavy bolters, plasma rifles, plasma guns, multi-meltas, heavy flamers, Crusader tanks, all of it. Land Raiders, Predators, Rhinos, everything.
in general called Xenos. Not just the evil, aggressive ones. No, literally everyone, including sentient Xenos and their civilians who would be otherwise neutral or even friendly.
None of these Xenos are neutral or friendly. Not a single fucking one. None of them. None of them. He just showed the meme with Eldar calling guardsmen monkeys because they don't think that there are sentient species and they don't think they should exist. The Necrons literally just want to kill off every living thing. Orcs want to kill off everything or enslave it to serve their will. Tyranids are going to kill everything for food. The communist Tau are not friendly towards humanity or any other Xenos species. What they actually do is they pretend to be friendly, and then they take over a society. And once they've taken over that society, they get rid of the people that were okay with them existing so that they can continue to thrive. And everybody else is a subclass human or subclass species that doesn't have the right to exist. Why do you think the what are the blue things called now? The Vespid wear mask. It's because the Tau have to put propaganda into their headset to make them fight. They're not friendly at all. Not a single species in the galaxy of 40k. Okay, hold on. There is some old lore on the Jokero, but they're very small and they worked with the Emperor, so they've got a pass. And if you don't know what the Jokero are, they're hyper smart orangutans. I'm not even joking. Jokero 40k. This is an actual GW model, the Jokero. The rare exception. Again, the exception, not the rule.
Just kill them all. I've also seen plenty of Warhammer memes about interracial cuckoldry, which is something far-right people online are absolutely obsessed.
That's not cuckoldry. That's making fun of retarded. Okay, you know, I'm not saying. All these memes are and start correctly and end correctly. Like, how many? There are literally entire Twitter channels with tens of thousands of dating profiles. I mean, hell, women posting their L's. Where they leave their trad husband who's providing for them to go fuck around with somebody else, come back with 5 kids and black eyes, and say, I'm ready to settle down now. Like, fuck.
Obsessed with. Don't look it up, trust me. Now, let's stop here for a moment. Am I not taking this a bit too seriously, pointing at obvious memes and jokes below posts and pretending they're serious? I do realize these memes and replies are jokes, but often they also aren't. Now, hold on, what the hell do I mean by that? How can one thing be two opposite things at the same time? I personally call such memes and jokes Schrodinger's shitpost. They are both a joke and not a joke at the same time.
Is this the cope he's gonna make to try and say everything's fascist?
The meme exists in an ideological superposition until some.
I don't think he understands Schrodinger's cat. I think he saw a meme and thought it was funny.
Someone engages with it. So suppose someone posts a far-right adjacent meme like this, the Kekistani flag, which...
Yes, it was a joke. It was actually made as satire, truly satire, to make fun of the left. This is actually what satire is. And the fact that it pisses you off so much means our satire is actually working and funny, whereas yours is dumb.
Which is a recolored Nazi Wehrmacht flag, also commonly wielded by neo-Nazi protesters. But here...
You mean feds. It's the FBI.
It's just an edgy joke, you see. Or is it? If the response is negative, say if someone replies with, dude, what the fuck is this? Then, oh, it's just a joke, it's just a meme, lamau, don't take it seriously. But if the response is positive, like, my fellow red-pilled Kekistan...
Is he trying to say that somebody who finds it funny and understands the joke must inherently be fascist? Understanding jokes are fascist. God, I fucking hate these people.
brother whom the eco science elites couldn't brainwash, then often the meme is suddenly not a joke. I know, right?
No, it's still a joke. You just don't understand the joke.
And it's not like the person who posted the Pakistani flag is pretending either way. This is the funny part. Such people legitimately don't know what their intent is with
I'm going to start that over because
flag is pretending either way. This is the funny part. Such people legitimately don't know what their intent is with the meme they post. Is it just an edgy joke or is it serious? It depends on the meme's public reception. Of course, not all Warhammer memes are like that, but quite a few.
I think this is projection. I think this is projection. Hear me out on this one. He's saying that people post memes on the internet, hoping that somebody will come along and tell them what to think about the meme so that they can be friends with the person who told them what to think. Which is, based on this video, exactly what he does because he doesn't understand anything he's talking about. He is quite literally projecting his inadequacies and his inability to think or conceptualize any concept onto everybody else because he doesn't understand anything and he can't process the information. Because he clearly has never watched the Starship Troopers movie, but spent quite some time talking about it. He clearly doesn't read 40k or play 40k because he doesn't understand that concept either. And he has displayed multiple times that he does not understand jokes. And not like I'm autistic and don't understand jokes. Legitimately doesn't know how to process a joke. Or to understand that other people can process a joke and laugh at the joke and say that's a good joke and realize that people just like the joke. They're not trying to tell him what to think. I legitimately think this dude is completely brain dead.
Few of them are. I can't tell you a percentage here. So far, I could only determine that a non-trivial number of them exist and that such Schrodinger's shitposts are part of the far-right infiltration and...
Again, you're the one who posted Schrodinger without understanding it. And again, Warhammer players have always been more right-leaning. It's not being co-opted or taken over by them. They were there from the beginning. You're the ones co-opting and taking things over. Right? You never saw the right wing. The right wing isn't saying we need to do more right-wing stuff in 40k. They're saying we like 40k the way it is. It's the liberals and the commies that are saying we need to change stuff. That means you're co-opting it. You're taking it over. Holy fuck.
Co-opting of Warhammer 40k. It provides a nice little gray zone where you can keep dog whistling or posting what are essentially not.
Only dogs hear dog whistles, and you're hearing dog whistles, so you must be a dog. And in this case, fascist racist.
Memes, only it's Warhammer 40k, so normies will think nothing of it. Far-right infiltration of 40k is such a recurring problem that...
Okay, I remember when this statement came out from Warhammer. This response was in result to some people showing up at a GW con or meeting or something, and somebody saying, well, we finally have our representation in 40k, which got a ton of backlash because somebody was trying to take over 40k and change what 40k is. And Warhammer issued this response, Warhammer is for everything. If they had said that, I would have had no problem with what GW did. But they continued on. If the right wing is taking it over, they would be trying to change stuff. But they're not. They're trying to keep it the same.
Games Workshop had to issue multiple statements already
because of woke liberal communist.
Stating that Warhammer is for everyone, it is not based on hate, it is satire, and that far-right people should...
And this is how you prove GW has been taken over by liberals who are trying to destroy it. By saying the Imperium is driven by hate. The Imperium is not... The Imperium specifically. They don't say 40k is driven by hate. They specifically point out the Imperium. They're trying to make, the people who wrote this are trying to make a message.
Fuck off from the hobby, basically. So that's nice.
Well, I don't have to tell you to fuck off from the hobby because you're not in it. So eat shit at them.
But at the same time, Games Workshop is commissioning video games that neglect the satire in favor of a broader appeal.
They're not neglecting satire because there is no satire.
Where the hero, who belongs to a literal superior race, selflessly protects his civilization from the marauding hordes of freaks and degenerates.
Again, that is what 40k, the Imperium, has always been.
And this is seen by far-right people who, in their own imaginations, are heroes who belong to a superior race, selflessly protecting their civilization from the marauding hordes of freaks and degenerates. And so they identify with Warhammer 40k. They are drawn to Warhammer 40k content. They co-opt the aesthetics of Warhammer 40k, no matter how many statements Games Workshop.
I'm tired, boss.
I'm struggling with this.
Makes, no matter how much they insist on 40k being satire, as
40k is not satire. Saying it over and over and over and over and over again does not make it true.
long as the ultra-popular games make the Imperium look cool and badass, righteous even, the far-right will inevitably stay in its orbit and try to co-opt it. This is why
Saying something that's not true doesn't make it true.
Warhammer 40k, in my opinion, is doomed to always have far-right hanger-on.
No. The fact that Warhammer is inherently right-wing, not far-right, just right-wing, means it's doomed to forever having liberal communists try and take it over.
Unless they take the lore into a different direction. And I'm not quite sure how to do that while also preserving the grimdark setting, which is one of the main appeals of the IP. I do have some ideas here, though. I think what would help is getting more left-leaning people.
No! These are more left-wing people. Fucking Christ. You know what's funny? How much I call them fucking communists. And the dude's like, we need to have more communists in the space. Fuck off. Thanks for proving my point. Communists are trying to co-opt it. There's not enough of them, so we gotta inject more communists to help take over 40k and change it from the thing that everybody loved.
Into
Thank
the hobby.
you.
Also, Games Workshop could add more
Fucking pile of fucking shit.
diversity to the Imperium just to make the Chuds angry. Female Space Marines? Hell yeah. Female Adeptus Custodes? Naturally.
Again, if you're going to argue that the right wing is co-opting it, why is the right wing trying to keep it the same? But the communists, as you pointed out, are the ones trying to change it. Who's trying to co-opt it? It's not the right wing.
Adopt us custodes. Also, add more skin colors.
Why the fuck was Jeremy in the... He has nothing to do with 40k. He's quite literally a moron that reads articles and just talks, you know, a strict talking point. Like, the Quartering's not a terrible dude, but he's kind of boring. And that's not gonna... fuck
the ensuing outrage will basically be free advertising, and those who are put off by that, you don't want them in the hobby.
Okay. I don't get... I honestly don't get how this dude's trying to say the racist right wings are trying to take over 40k when we're okay with melanin diversity in our Astartes and our guardsmen. We're okay with our female Adeptus Sororitas, our battle sisters of battle or battle nuns. When we're okay with female Eldar. When we're okay with pretty much everything being the status quo, being super diverse and having tons of actual diversity that nobody actually complained about because it just really fits into the setting. And that's not what the setting's about. But we literally have entire chapters, multiple chapters of Space Marines that are black, and nobody says anything. And they're actually the good guys in the lore, saving people and sacrificing themselves. Nobody's complaining about them. But you're sitting here trying to say that the racist right-wingers are trying to co-opt something when they're the ones trying to keep the diversity the same. What the fuck? are you?
Anyway, do you have some more ideas? Feel free to share them in the comments. Normally I don't read them, but this time I'm genuinely interested and we'll go over them at least
I'm sure you are in the comments section, so you can block people and remove comments that you don't like.
once. In the meantime, thank you for watching. If you'd like to support...
That was a fucking struggle. I was fighting for my life. I was fighting for my life there. Holy shit. Oh. I felt like I just sat through a 2-hour struggle session. I'm tired, boss. Let me rest. Yeah. Fuck, how the fuck? I genuinely don't understand. I mean, I do understand. He doesn't know anything he's talking about. And he goes to Twitter and whatever communist Twitter profiles he finds, he takes their talking points and tries to make videos. But he understands nothing. Like the entire Starship Trooper section, everything about that was wrong. Every single thing. Like not one thing was right about that. The 40k section obviously doesn't know what he's talking about, and he just follows like he pulled up the Marxist communist Twitter page that says we need more of this. He has no idea what the fuck 40k is. He's just talking out of his ass hoping he gets clicks. Fuck. This has got to be the worst tourist I've ever seen. Oh. I feel like I just fought off a Tyranid invasion by myself. Like, holy fuck. That was exhausting. That was exhausting to watch. And it took 2 hours because there was so much wrong in this video. 2 hours watching a 22-minute video to get through it. I really hope this dude goes and gets Canadian healthcare. This is probably the most egregious thing I've ever watched. And now I gotta go to work. It's a long day. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch Arch and Sargon. I'm sure Arch is gonna do great. I'm sure Sargon's gonna make me feel like an idiot, even with my fucking critiques. So I like him though. Fuck me. I didn't get paid enough for that.
I'm tired, boss.
I didn't get paid enough for that. Oh my god. I can't believe this is real. Like the entire video, it's like he's arguing that humanity should just bend over and die because it's better that humanity die than harm anything else in the galaxy. You know, it's hard to argue against fascism when there's people like this. You're like, man, the world really would be a better place without them. We'd probably have flying cars. We'd actually have real health care. We'd have cures to all sorts of diseases. And you hear people like this, you're just like, yeah. Would society be better though? Would it? Because it kind of seems like it would. God. It is bad that we have to share this oblate spheroid. Yes. Yes. Yeah, you can't reason them that there's no reason, there's no logic, there's no thought, there's no self-awareness there. They're literally empty husks eating resources of the planet and then complaining about other people. Like they quite literally just are blank forms in the shape of humans wandering around endlessly screeching, taking everything from everybody else. It's really disturbing. You know, when you watch like the old Star Trek before they went like super woke, and you're like, yeah, but with the Borg, or people really just go to the Borg, and it's like, yes, they would. Like, I feel like these are the same people that when aliens come down and start just carpet bombing the planet, they go out there with a sign in front of the military. They want peace. The aliens want peace. And then 30 seconds later, they're turned into ash. It's like, yeah, they really wanted peace. The same people, if a zombie apocalypse actually broke out, they'd be like, no, they just want to talk, and they just walk up to him and get ripped apart. It really has to be fluoride in the water. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Because I don't think any other country pumps the amount of fluoride into water that we do, has this level of mental degradation, the lack of capacity for thought. But I mean, this sums up why I keep saying woke is communist. Right? They have no self-awareness, no thought. The only thing they care about is what somebody tells them to care about. Right? It's the actual meme where like somebody reaches in and pulls the chip out of an NPC and puts in another one. Like, this is it. Well, no, it's not even a gene stealer cult, because the gene stealer cults still had some semblance of self-thought. They just worked towards a single goal. And that was to disrupt humanity until the hive arrived. Like, they could still think. I mean, they're closer to just being, hormigons or termagons, right? They have no thought. They have two options, on and off. And somebody has to flip the switch for them. Like, I mean, shit, the orcs are smarter than these people. And people make fun of them for being dumb rednecks. How does this dude have 1.3 million subs? Oh, it's a liberal shitpost machine. Is Dubai doing something good for once? No. Tech Bros invented trains and it broke me. What? Why big box stores are doomed and what might? No. Big box stores are not going anywhere. It's the small stores. Because fuck, the most insane Russian propaganda and it's involving Star. Okay, no. Okay, that one was kind of funny. If you haven't heard about the libertarian C-pods, don't watch this video. There's more. But there are some actual good videos where the guys running this stuff are in hiding from multiple countries. Let's see here. 2024 will be decisive. 10 months ago, Trump is president. Russia's winning the war. Trump's probably going to get world peace for the next 4 years. Oh, he's shitting on Tesla because that's the popular thing to do. Dubai's lunatic mega project. Okay. So, yeah, you literally go back and forth on what's good depending on what you're told. AI isn't real. What the fuck is... This is like a Chinese spam video account where they just throw whatever topic is as quickly as possible. $10,000. No, those are actually real. What the fuck? The revolution against change. But you advocate it for everything else. He's saying Twitter's doing phenomenally. It's got all its marketing back. This dude literally just takes whatever talking point's popular and makes a shitpost video about it. Treat Afghanistan like Ukraine? Karl Marx as an anarcho-capitalist? What? This dude's unhinged. Hold on. Sustainable city is a green fever dream. Electric buses are a scam. Online manosphere. This dude's just a grifter to whatever he thinks is popular on Twitter. I've seen all this shit on Twitter as trending. Fuck. I'm doing my channel wrong. I'm just going to make a shitpost channel like this. At least I'll make a ton of money. Fuck. Wow. God. It's always the shitty people that do good online. Why academia is leaning left? Ben Shapiro's book is beyond disturbing. How I escaped the alt-right. So you say you escaped the alt-right and went to Marxism when you started making money. Okay, you just want to be part of the ruling class. That's what that is. Holy shit. Are you saying this is not a gene stealer cult? No, gene stealers have more independence than these people. It's not a gene stealer cult until they have a third arm growing on the back, and so it's okay. Correct. Although some of them aren't far away from that from all the inbreeding. At least the political elites. those inbred political elite lines. They're pretty rough. All right, I do gotta get to work. I appreciate you being here. If you didn't smash that like button, make sure you do. That was a fucking painful. I never want to do that again.
I'm tired, boss.
I'll leave you with some deathcore because they are the true saviors of humanity. They are the true heroes. They are not the fascists. They are amazing.
What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty. What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty. What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty. What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. What is death? It is our duty. What is your duty? To serve the Emperor's will. What is the Emperor's will? That we fight and die. slot. Your blood and light when the freezer just like us. And there's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You're one about the rip you are behind that mask you use. And did you think this one could never win? Well, look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love and a simple win. And if you need to know while I'm still standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing, better than I ever did. Looking up the turn, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces I will find you.
Captain, should we tell him? No, Sergeant. Let him cook.
I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once I never could have hoped to win. You're starting down the road and leaving me again. The threats you made were meant to cut me down. And if our love was just a service, you'd be a clown by now. You know, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a treasure. I'm feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time. Picking up the pieces of my life, reduction of my mind. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
It's my time to rule at last. 15 years have I been waiting to sit up on my throne. No allegiance, I will swear no oath. Crowned by God, not by the church, as my power is divine. They thought I was too young to rule the land. Yes, they failed to understand how to rule. My time has come. I'll choose my hand. Say my name when you pray to the sky. Seek our golden skies. With an old my protector. Make a vow to my will to the sky. Seek our golden skies. To the sky. Seek our golden skies. battle led my men to victory. No man alive or dead commands me. I answer to the Lord. Hear my orders, question me and die. What I say was said in heaven, and so it shall be done. I know I was destined to rule alone. All for myself, I have claimed the throne, born to rule. My time is now. I was chosen by heaven. Say my name when you pray to the sky. Seek our Lord is rise. With the Lord my protector. Make a bow to my will. To the sky. Seek our Lord is rise. To the sky. Seek our Lord is rise. All this night shall be mine, there's no stopping me. All over Europe, my rule shall be questioned by none. All I see, give to me, that is my decree. My will be done. They thought I was too young to rule the land. Yes, they failed to understand or to rule. My time is now. I was chosen by heaven.